Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Trinity Lily. For those of you that are just joining us, and if you are just joining us for the first time, please do make sure last time by subscribing to my YouTube channel, turn on post notification, and of course giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it. But if it's not your first time, welcome back. It's going to be like a very quick video. I'm going to be showing you guys a few books that I feel like you should read, and they're all going to be coming from a particular application, and that is Bambooks. But before I go into that, there's a book I'd like you to read, and it's titled Wildcats. It's written by Zaenab. I think I've once talked about one of her books in the last novel reviews that I did in the last, not really novel review, when I talked about books. The last video that I talked about books, it was written by the same person. I think the book that I talked about then was Miss J Diaries, but this is a new one, and it's titled Wildcat. It's still a collection of short stories, and it's amazing. It's better than Miss J Diaries, but if you haven't seen Miss J Diaries, please, you should get that. You can send her a DM on Instagram, and then she'll send it to you to your mail, and it costs about 300 naira. That is for Miss J Diaries, but for this Wildcat, it's actually free, and you can find that on Wattpad. You can actually find that on Wattpad. But today we're not going to be doing a Wattpad review, but I suggest that you actually do read that book. If you're looking to starting your reading habit, you're looking to starting to read more, even if you're an ardent reader, that book is a very good one for you if you haven't read it yet. It's actually free of charge on Wattpad and some other apps too that are available. I really don't know what, because I'm really keen on Wattpad, so that was like where I read it. But I feel like there are other avenues. I'm going to drop them in like the description box so you can get them. But today we're going to be talking about Bambooks. Now, if the first novel app review that I did, I mentioned Bambooks, and when I even mentioned it, I hadn't like really explored the app. So I took out time last week to explore it, and I'm going to say that I wasn't disappointed. This is the first novel app that I paid the membership fee for without thinking twice, like without blinking, and it wasn't expensive. It just cost about 1,500 naira for a month, or 15,000 naira for a complete year. I couldn't afford the 15,000 naira at the time that I wanted to pay the membership fee, so I just did the 1.5, and I logged in and logged out again, and I started enjoying the benefits of a member. The benefits of membership for this app is that I get to read my books offline, and that is a very cool thing. I get to read whatsoever book that I like offline. I just have to see it, add it to my library, and download it. But if you're not a member of this application, all you can do is just to read your books online. Like when you have data, you can just go there and read. But I feel like it's so affordable, so I suggest that you become a member of this app. This video isn't going to be so long because I'm going to be showing, I just want to be showing you guys the books that are in my offline library. They're in my offline library, and I don't think I'm like going to be mentioning what these books are about, because I haven't honestly read some of them, but I read the preface and the short summary of the books, so I knew that they were going to be worth to read, or they are worth to read for the ones that I have read. So this is what Bambook looks like. I hope that this camera focus, nope, is reflecting. Yeah, this is what Bambook looks like. This is what Bambook looks like. One that I open it, I'm a member. So you see there, if you're not a member, what you're going to see there, here is going to be green, and they're going to show you that become a member by, paying their membership fee, stuff and all that. But I'm already a member, so I'm entitled to all of these books and more. My data isn't on, so I can't like show you the full extent of this library, but this is not my offline library, so I'm going to be showing you my own offline library. And this is my offline library. There are a few books that I've been able to explore, and I feel like I'm going to use this month to read them because the pages aren't bulky, just about 400 and something pages, 200 and something pages. I think there's even one that is 100 and something pages. This is what the book looks like. So I'm not going to call the name of the book, the person who wrote it, and if I can give you a short summary of the book or a short description of the book, fine. But if I don't give you a short description of this book, please just take it from me that this book is going to be worth the read. The first book I'm going to call here is titled Adana, and it was written by the Fertile Chick. If you know the Fertile Chick, you know that she has written a couple of quite an interesting read. She has published a lot of interesting reads, and this is one of them. It's Adana. It's a story of love, lost, betrayal. It's about a girl who had to grow up so quick, and then she was just thrown into value of indecision, and then there were a lot of tragedies in it, but somehow I was hooked from the very first page to the last page. It's a very good read. I recommend. It's not too bulky, it won't stress you out. It's a straight to the point. If you're confused about something, you can easily go back to the previous page and see what happened, and then you get the entire setting or the entire plot of the movie. It's so yeah, that is all I'm going to say about this book. So I suggest that you go download Bambooks and you get it there. And then the next book that I'm going to be mentioning is My Sister the Serial Killer, and it was written by Onikan Brightwhite. I hope that I'm pronouncing these names properly. I sincerely hope that I'm pronouncing this name properly. It's about two sisters, one who gets to kill off her boyfriend if they don't get up to par, if they don't meet up her standards, or something happens, and then she gets to kill them off. And then she has a sister who knows how to hide bodies properly, who knows how to clean up blood, who knows how to clean up fingerprints and all that stuff, until it gets to a point where a guy has to actually cause problems between the two of them. When the sister who knows how to clean blood actually fancies this guy, and then the guy fancies the serial killer of his sister. And so I'm not going to tell you so much about the book, so I don't give you the end of the book from the beginning, but this is what happened. This is the book, and it's very, very interesting. Like I said, it's written by Onyinkan Brightwhite. The next book I'm going to be talking about is Mrs. Unmarried. Mrs. Unmarried is the book that deals with it just talked about the struggles of a typical Nigerian home, the things that a Nigerian mother has to go through. And I think at this point she actually did leave her marriage because she couldn't take it, the stigma that comes with it, every single thing that a Nigerian mother might experience. She experienced it, and it was quite a beautiful piece written by this person. It was written by Chinelo Mbe Adichie, right? Mbe Adichie. I hope that I pronounced this right. Chinelo Mbe Adichie, Mrs. Married. I'll recommend it. I've just down. I think what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a picture of how this book looks like, so you're not confused. When you get there, you just type and you just see it and just know that this is what I'm looking for, this is what I said you should get, and this is what you're going to get. Now the next book that I'm going to recommend to you here is The Visitor. The Visitor is about a pastor who has a very hideous secret, but somehow there's someone who knows about the secret. He paid him a visit, and there's a lot of blackmail and not so blackmail, and a lot of plots and twists in the story. It's a good one, and I recommend that you read it. It was written by Omosa Okpemekpo. Omosa Okpemiso. I think it's a Yoruba name. I'm sorry that I'm not getting that name properly. I hope that I'm actually getting this name properly. The next book that I'm going to mention is Iyabeji and Golibe. Those are two different books that I just mentioned. Iyabeji and Golibe. They are all written by the same person, the Fertile Chick. That's why I was telling you that she has a lot of amazing reads. She really does have a lot of amazing reads. These books are interesting. I'm not going to say a lot about them, but I suggest that you download them and you read. You don't have to, You don't have to, if I don't finish this book today, I'm not going to. You can space your reading there, but these are books that I promise are going to keep you by the edge of your seats. Another book, and I think the last one, is Daughters Who Walked This Part, and it was written by Yejide Kilanko. Daughters Who Walked This Part talked about the struggle of a lady in a misogynist society where woman hates woman, man hates man, and she had to go through some traumatic experience, and in the end this book actually talked about her coping mechanism and how she had to fight to ensure that her sister does not actually go through the same thing that she went through. So this is me updating you on my book list for the month. I've mentioned about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mentioned about 7 books. So I hope that you enjoy them. You may not be a good reader that I am, but if you could try and read one from this one that I have mentioned, and you do, believe me, you're not going to regret it. So this actually brings me to the end of this video. I hope that you did enjoy it, and I hope that you'd be able to read at least 1 or 2 from all that I have mentioned. I am going to drop the link to Bambooks for both Android and iOS devices, so that you don't have problems locating it on your app store or your Play Store, whichever one that you're using. And I am also going to drop the link to where you can get Wildcats and also Miss J Diaries. I don't know if I can get the link for Miss J Diaries because I did purchase mine as the PDF, but I'll try and see if I can get the link. It's very important that you read it. Interesting. It's very, very important that you read it. Anyway, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give it comment. Let me know what you feel about the books that I mentioned. If you have read any of them, tell me what you feel about these books, what you feel about these authors, and then I'll see you also in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, bro. Don't forget to do that.